Hey, what's up guys? Hey, so we're going to be getting ready to install our airlift system. So like we showed you before, we have the 3P and the 3H, which is the pressure and the height sensor. So we got the truck up today. What we're going to do real quick though is we're going to see if we can find a place to mount our the 5-gallon tank. So that's what we're going to do first, and then we're going to get it as high up off the ground as we can. Hopefully we can get this bed off. This bed is super heavy, so I'll have to get a few people out here to help move it. And we're gonna rip off all the old half-inch stuff, all the old compressors, everything. We're gonna get all that stuff taken out, and then we're gonna do a detailed video of the install for the 3P and the 3H. I've never done it before myself, so I actually went and Googled a bunch of how-to videos for it, and I really couldn't find anything too, specific on doing the install. So I'll probably, like a lot of the basic stuff, we're just going to do a lot of time lapse on this one, but maybe on like the wiring. I think the wiring is really the only part that's technical. I'll break that stuff down a little bit. Yesterday I kind of got it all out, just set it on the grass. I'll give you guys a little rundown on that when we get to that point. But for right now, we're probably just going to time lapse this, and we're going to start breaking this thing down, and that's pretty much it. We're going to get to it. What's up guys, just want to show you what I'm dealing with. So here we have the old Viair 450, and here upside down is our 485Cs. So fortunately they still kept the same distance on the mounts. All that stuff is still the same, which is really good. The only thing that I did notice is when you flip this on the side, you can see that bracket gets real close to hitting right here. Well, I had to grind it down a little bit. All right guys, so earlier I showed you guys on this one how we had to grind some of this away. So I wanted to show you the problem. If you want to come in close and see, you can see this side over here lines up, but this side it hits up against there, and you only get about a half the bolt hole. So I don't really know what the deal is with that, but it's not really a big deal. Just take the sanding disc and just take some of that material away. The bad part that I'm dealing with right now is my mounts that I have right now will fit this one, but as you can see on this one, they were running this with no bushings or anything, so the bolt hole is bigger. All right guys, so hopefully you can see decently. This is the little bracket that we made. So all we're gonna do is I'm gonna hold it up here. I'm gonna get it level, and then I got enough room on all these sides so that I could just throw a tack on these screws, and then I'll come in and weld her up. All right guys, just wanted to show you, we just got done finishing up on the, if you remember, the old solenoids were mounted right here. We just got finished up filling in those holes. We just cut out a piece of 3/16, welded it in there, finished that off. Still got to finish up all the, make it look nice. So that's where we're at right now. Got our brackets up there for our tank. Now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna mount the the damn controller deal, whatever it's called. So we're gonna get that mounted up next. for your compressor. And then right here is the compression, or the connections for your height sensors. So as you can see, this is the distance you could be from your manifold to your compressor, because they don't recommend not extending any of your power lines, because it can change your voltage or something like that. And so I'm not gonna mess with those. You know, it looks to me like this is probably a little bit more set up for, like, you know, the trunks of cars and stuff like that. And my reason being for that is, this is your second compressor connection, so it's pretty close, but I'm gonna have to extend it anyway. So I think what I'm hoping that they did is they left this, looks to be a little bit longer. So I think we can add an extension to this, because this is just to tell the compressor to turn on or turn off. So you don't need a whole bunch of power for this. That's why the wire is a lot thinner than, say, like your power wires. So that's what I'm hoping we could do it like that. So right here, our 3/4 inch wire loom, which should be plenty thick enough to house this wiring all up under the frame. We'll get that right in there. A couple things to look for is you got this pink wire right here, which is your vehicle accessory wire. And once I get into installing this, I'll kind of break that down, what you're looking for. And then you got your USB. And I think for me, since we already have our interior in, I really don't want to rip the floorboard up, because I got an entry point at the back of the cab, but I really don't want to mess with that. So I'm going to try to go back in through the firewall with these, which would be pretty simple. And since I'm running all of this in wire loom, right down the side here, I'm going to take our sensors. This is for the height sensors. So if you look at them, it says FL, that's front left. And then it'll also say right here on the tag, 20-foot front left sensor. So you don't want to get those mixed up. So we're gonna add these into the wire loom and get this all ran to the back. All right, guys. So we're gonna hook up the pink wire. And I just want to kind of get into this real quick, because it's probably maybe the toughest part of this install, just in case you don't know how to find the wire you need. But what you're looking for on this wire is something that when you turn your key on, it has power. When your engine is cranking, it also has power, and that's typically going to be your ignition wire. So for us right here, it's this pink wire right here. And you know, if you need to test it, all you're going to do is just use your, try to figure out what wire you believe it is. And then all I did was just take the wire, and all you gotta do is just push the tip of it in there, ground it out, and you should get your 12 volts. Once you got that, you know you got the right source. And this is the part you use right here. So all we're gonna do is we'll connect this wire to here. I'll connect this wire to my pink wire right here, and then you put your 3 amp fuse in there. So the kit itself comes with 2 different 3 amps. It's got the 3 amp with the long prongs on it, which is for this one here, and then it has the little shorty, which would typically plug into your fuse box, but I didn't want to plug in that way, so this one we're using. We'll get this dialed in, and hopefully we can get this thing rolling here shortly. All right, guys, so I just want to show you guys how to check and make sure your connection and everything is good. So what we'll do here is I just got this little zip tie holding my ground, and then just on your fuse, you can see the little metal parts right there. So I will put, there we go. So we'll put that there, and then you can kind of just show right there. So what I'm gonna do is, right now, obviously we don't have no power. So when I turn the ignition on, that jumps up to there. But the important thing is as soon as the engine starts cranking, that doesn't drop. There we go. So that right there tells you that you got power to this wire even during cranking. That's what we're looking for, so we're good to go. What's up, guys? So we're gonna start running our airline, but I want to show you what I was doing. So what I have is an actual 3/8 inch rubber space. It is an airline hose. So what I did is I just cut it in half, or just cut a slice in it, and then I'm gonna run our 3/8 airline in it, and you can see it closes up pretty good. So the reason why I'm doing this is mostly just safety and you know, just peace of mind, really. I don't have to worry about this line rubbing on anything or maybe taking impacts from rocks or something on the road. It's just a second layer of defense to prevent the bags from losing air. So what I'll do is I'll run mostly this under the truck and try to keep whatever I can hidden. And if I can't keep it hidden, then I'll you know, in those certain portions I'll just run a regular airline. But that's what I'm doing right now. It is staying there pretty good too. This is pretty secure, and then once we start running the zip ties, that stuff's not going to come out. So it takes a little extra time, but it'd be worth it in the end. All right guys, we got all of our airline ran. So here it is inside the 3/8 tube. Left it all a little bit longer. Still need to get the 1/2 inch to the 3/8 line push connect reducers, so I got those in the mail coming. Here's the back bags. That's how we're gonna run them. We're gonna replace those bags with the SS7s, so we're still waiting on those. And then everything kind of runs back to here, where it's kind of a mess right now, but everything will be ran to our manifold that's gonna be in the box right there. The sides, we just use those brackets right there to hold that up top, so those won't go nowhere. You know, we'll just have to make sure that once we're laid out that we're not hitting. I don't think we will, but all right. So our hardware setup, we got our 4 reducers. So this is going to take our bags from what we had was 1/2 inch to now going to 3/8 line. So that's pretty basic there. And then for our tank, we have a 6-hole tank. So what we're gonna do is we got these right here, and these we'll have 3 of these. These are the water traps. We'll have each one from each compressor. So these will mount just like this, straight into the tank. That way this is nice and mounted good. So that's what those will go to. We'll plug up one of the holes, and then we got our 2 quarters. So we got the 1/4 inch MPT threads to 3/8 lines. So what we'll do is on each side of the tank, we'll have a compressor on each side, and then we'll have these 2 lines, and we'll run these lines to this 3-way right here, and then from here we'll go to the manifold, which will have the compressor, or we'll have the water trap mounted right here, and then that'll go to the manifold. So with those 3, that should keep a lot of the water and debris and all that stuff out of there that's going to be messing up our system. So it looks like, well, these right here, these go on the side for the lines, just like that. So we'll run each side of the tank into one line. So it looks like I'm actually gonna have to get 2 more parts. So I'll have to get probably a nipple just like this, and then we'll mount that, and then we'll get it looks like 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch to 3/8. Actually that might be to this to run to the manifold. So unfortunately we'll have to get that part next week, but till then we'll get everything else ran. So that's all we'll need, and then we should be good to go. For our threads, once again, we're just going to use the Loctite 565 thread sealant. I mean, obviously these right here, you're not going to use that stuff, but on these ones here, we'll be using it. All the AVS's parts, they all come like this, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But other than that, we're going to get going so we can get this done, set up. This time we're just going with the 7s. Hopefully everything's still the same. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but just give us a little bit more lift in the back. And end up getting a 3rd water trap. We got everything on the tank now, so probably a little bit easier to understand now. So here's our water trap. So our compressor will just come right into here. Just got 1 3/8 line right here and 1 3/8 line here. So basically what's going to happen with these two is we'll have, don't get so close. Yeah. So we'll have lines coming from here, and they're going to come into this right here, and they'll both tee into this, and then one coming out. And this is where we'll go to the manifold, but we got to get one more of these. And I'll also have a water trap right here too, so we should be good on that. But just to show you a little bit, give you a little bit of idea of what we got going. Got the water deal here too, so you can release the water out of your tank. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get under the truck now, and we'll get all this stuff bolted up and hopefully get rolling. All right, guys. So we got the system all hooked up. So now it has to do a calibration, and as I'm going through it, it asks if it's level on the ground, if it's free of obstacles, and I'm guessing it's gonna, by calibrating, it's gonna be doing the bags up and down. So I don't want to do it like this. So I got to figure out how to get it on the ground with no air in the bag. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I think if anything, I'm gonna try to get it closer to the ground, get the wheels on it, and then see if we can get out from under these jacks and then start doing the calibration. So not really sure how this is gonna go right now, but we're just gonna wing it.
Arrow.
The vehicle on a level surface. Are the front wheels straight? It's not gonna hit, is it? No? Is your manifold mounted? Yes. You have 2 compressors. Got 2. Can you see this or no? Got 2 compressors. Calibrate manual or auto. I'd rather do auto. You have height sensors. We have not installed them. Vehicle will now move. Are you ready? We got action checking front. So we're gonna let that do its thing, and as soon as it gets enough pressure in that front, we're gonna get that thing out. So I don't really know how any of this works, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect the system, and I'm hoping when I disconnect the whole thing, we'll have to do the whole recalibration, because I don't think it's set up right because we were on those jack stands. So I think that's what we'll do. At least we're running. Compressors are working good. So we will disconnect our
battery.
Cool. So we'll just let that set for a little bit, and then we're just gonna have to do our height sensors. So we'll have to figure out where we're gonna set those up. And then we'll be rolling. Cool. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for your install on the pressure only part of it. So I'll show you what we got. So right now we're totally laid out. Got 28, 27 pounds in each bag. Hopefully you can see that. So the those compressors, we got the 485Cs, and those things are super quiet. I actually thought I hooked them up wrong because they were so quiet, but that's just the way they are. So I'll show you right here how fast they go up. That right there is about 100, almost 100 pounds in each bag, and not right at ride height, but probably a little bit higher just to get the front, be able to turn and whatnot. So you can see, you can barely hear those compressors. They're super quiet. I was actually really impressed with them. They fill up pretty quick too. So we totally emptied it out. It's at 126 pounds already, so it only takes about a minute to fill that tank up. So, and then I'll show you guys how quick it'll go down. So that drops it to about 50 pounds. So that right there's, that's where you want to kind of roll, and just when you're heading nice and straight, smooth road, you can kind of tug on flat front and back, and then I go down to 25 pounds. Lay it out. So it's pretty quick. So what we're gonna get going now